For years, one of the biggest frustrations for Mac users has been a lack of a way to build reports in Power BI. Power BI Desktop, the app traditionally used to build reports, isn't supported on macOS, and the online version of Power BI had severe limitations. But all that has now changed. Whilst Power BI Desktop is still Windows only, Microsoft have made major improvements to the web version of Power BI, and you can now import data from around 180 sources. You can clean data using the powerful query editor, and you can build reports directly from your browser. Windows users will probably still prefer Power BI Desktop, but for Mac users, this update is a potential game changer. Now, before I begin, this isn't a Power BI deep dive video. There's no way that you can learn everything about Power BI in a 10-minute video. The reason I've made this video is simply to show Mac users that they can now use Power BI in a browser to create reports. So with that, let's get started. So here I am in a browser on my Mac. I've gone to powerbi.com and I've logged in using my Microsoft 365 username and password. This is the Power BI homepage. It does look incredibly busy, but don't worry, I'm only going to focus on the bits that you need to know to create a report. So I'm going to start by clicking on the New Report button up here. A report in Power BI is based on a set of data. And the first thing you have to do is tell Power BI the source of the data. Now I'm going to build my report from data that's stored in an Excel file. So I can either click on the Excel button here, or I can click on Get Data, and then I can click on Excel Workbook. Either method takes me to the same place. But let me just digress for a moment. Clicking on Get Data, which I've just done, and then clicking on View More over here on the right, that gives me access to all the supported data sources. And this is one of the improvements to the Power BI service. Until recently, if you were using the online version of Power BI, you were limited to basing your report on data stored in CSV and Excel files. Now there's over 180 data sources to choose from. So I'm going to click on Excel Workbook. At the moment, and this may change in the future, but at the moment, locally stored workbooks aren't supported. So the Excel Workbook must be stored in my OneDrive for Business account. If the file is already stored in OneDrive, you select Link to File and navigate the folder structure of your OneDrive and select the file. If the file's currently stored on your computer, you click Upload File and find the file and select it. For this demo, I've already uploaded the file to my OneDrive for Business account, so I need to choose Link to File and then click Browse OneDrive. Once I've done that, I need to go and find the folder where the file is, which is Demo Files, and then select the file, which is Sales YTD, Sales Year to Date, and click Select. The connection credentials should already be set up. If they aren't, the most important one is the authentication kind, which needs to be set to organizational account. If it's not, click on Edit Connection and choose Organizational Account from the list. You may then be prompted to sign in again. But once that's done, click on Next. You're then presented with a list of the worksheets from the Excel file. So I'm going to select the sheet and it will give me a preview of the data, and I'm going to click on the green Create a Report button. You need to then select the workspace that the report is going to be stored in. Think of a workspace as a container on the Power BI server that stores the reports. Every user has a My workspace, but what else is listed depends on the workspaces that you've been given access to within your organisation. And as this is a sales report, it makes sense to store it in the sales team workspace. So I'll click on sales team workspace. Then I need to name the semantic model. What is the semantic model? The semantic model is the Microsoft term for the underlying data set that the report is based on. And I don't mean the Excel file. When the data is loaded into Power BI from the Excel file, that data in Power BI is known as a semantic model. Data set is a much easier term to understand, but Microsoft have chosen the term semantic model. So I'm going to call the semantic model ice cream sales, because that's what the data is. It's sales of ice cream. And then click on create. Eventually, the report design screen will appear, and this is where you design the report. On the right hand side, we've got a data panel, and in there we've got sales data, which is the name of the sheet from the Excel file. If I click on the little arrowhead next to sales data, I expect to see there the column headings from the Excel file. Sometimes Power BI doesn't recognize the column headings. So this is actually a good opportunity for me to show you something called the query editor. The query editor is part of Power BI, and it's what you use if you need to clean your data up, which is what I need to do here. So if I click on Open Semantic Model, and then over on the right, I click the green viewing button and choose Editing. And then on the ribbon, I click Transform Data. That takes me into the query editor. If you've used Power Query in Excel before, it's almost identical. And you can see that what should be the column headings is actually row 1 of data. So it's not recognized the column headings as column headings. It thinks it's a row of data. This doesn't always happen. It just happens to have happened in this example. So I want to take row 1 and make it the column headings, which I do by clicking Transform, then clicking the little arrowhead to the right of the second button on the ribbon and choose Use First Row as headers. And we now have what was row 1 as the headings. At this point, I can click Save down at the bottom. If you look at the top of the screen, I've got 2 browser tabs open, so I'm going to close the Query Editor tab down just by clicking the cross up there in the normal way. So now I'm back to my report design, and you can see it's now given us the proper column headings over in that data panel. This isn't a deep dive video, so I'm not going to cover every feature of Power BI report creation. I'm going to create a really simple report. I'm going to start by placing a column chart on the report. So from the visualizations panel, I'm going to click on Clustered Column Chart. You can move that placeholder around. You can resize it. So I'll just position it here, make it a little bit bigger. And for this particular chart, I want to show total revenue broken down by flavour of ice cream. So from the panel on the right, I drag flavour and drop that into the x-axis box. I drag total revenue and drop that into the y-axis box. And I have my chart. If I wanted to, for example, change the colour of the columns, with the chart selected, so just click on it, I go to the paintbrush icon in the visualizations panel. I click on columns and I change the colour. So let's make it this purpley colour. I'm also going to add what's called a slicer onto the report, which lets me perform filtering. So to do that, I need to click on the slicer button, that one there in the visualizations panel. It places the slicer on the report design screen, or the canvas as it's known. I'm going to resize it and move it. I want to filter this report by store location. So with the slicer selected, I'll drag store location from the panel on the right and drop it into the field box. And now as I tick these boxes, what it's doing is applying a filter to the report. Now, one important point that a lot of people forget is that you do have to save the report. If you don't, then you will lose what you've done. There isn't an autosave. So over on the right hand side, click on save, and that will save the report design. I need to give the report a name. Now, I know I gave the semantic model a name, but I also have to name the report. And you don't have to put the report into the same workspace as the semantic model, but it's good practice to do so. So I'm going to make sure I'm in the sales team workspace, and I'm going to name it ice cream sales. Again, it doesn't have to be the same name as the semantic model, as the data set that's driving the report, but I think it's a good idea to do so. So name the report and click save. If I need to change the report, let's say I decide I want to change the color of the columns again, I need to click edit, and then I make my changes. So for example, select the chart, click the paintbrush, click columns, and choose a different color. I then need to hit save again. And that way the updates to the report design have been saved. So that was a brief introduction to the world of Power BI using the online version to create a report. It's not perfect, it's a little bit clunky, and it's certainly slower in certain areas compared to Power BI Desktop. But as Mac users, it's that or getting yourself a Windows virtual machine. As always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. But until then, have an excellent day.